you remember that spelling bee you won in the first grade? Rock? R-O-K? Yeah, so what's your point? R-O-C-K! The C is silent.
You just gotta keep living, man. L-I-V-I-N.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah. How's it, Ross? How you doing?
Find yourself, man. I was listening to that. It makes me. I haven't heard that song in like 300 years.
Oh, really?
Like, I was trying to do our best version of like being a 90s rock band. Jeez, like.
I think you guys did an amazing job. It's one of my favorite songs from the catalog.
Yeah, Third Eye Blind wannabes, man.
Well, I love it, and they did good. You can't knock them, so it's fine.
Not at all.
So, did the rock band thing kind of help you with the ladies?
Not really, to be honest. I think it sort of helped build your confidence a bit, and I think my focus on that, you sort of lose. It was just more about getting the shows right and standing backstage. A lot of the time by like dumpsters to try and look like you were standing by backstage and then coming out on stage looking cool. And just focused on just getting on. We would play so much that it was sometimes difficult to even, you'd be like trying to meet people, but you're carrying speakers through crowds a lot of the time in the beginning days.
Yeah. I think Prime Circle was one of the bands who came to Polokwane more than any other band. I know Cedar came here quite a lot.
Yeah.
But I think Prime Circle, you guys got a huge fan base here, and I think actually all over South Africa, you guys are one of the most successful bands. Now we've been talking on my show quite a lot about the golden era of South African rock music, which was 1995 to 2000. Where were you during that time, and which South African band was one of your favorites?
The Nude Girls, definitely. I was in Middelburg. I was still working construction for my dad. I was at school, obviously, at that time. And then I was working as a waiter and those kind of things, So, yeah, that was me then. And then I was a big Nude Girls fan. I wasn't allowed into one of their shows, one of the earlier shows. I was too young.
Yeah.
And we had to stand outside and wait. And then I remember when the Battle of the Bands finally came around. It was Cedar, but that was, Cedar had just started with 69T. They brought out that song. And Sean, he answered our email. We asked him, can we cover your song at the Battle of the Bands? And he literally was the only person in the crowd. It was the most craziest thing. He came to my high school band's sort of Battle of the Bands.
Wow.
At Morgan's camp. Yeah, it was crazy.
When last did you speak to him, or was that basically where it ended?
No, we toured with them and Three Doors Down a couple of times in Germany, and it was cool. We took them Shot Brew T-shirts and Biltong, and we saw them again. And Sean, for being a big party animal and stuff, has an amazing memory. Like it's incredible how he remembers people and faces. Like he remembered Dale was in a band. I'm trying to remember the freaking name of the band now, and Dale's in. But Dale was in a band that toured with early Cedar, and he remembered him, and it was amazing.
Yeah, he's definitely a character. Definitely, they did quite something unique where they kind of broke into the international scene, and I mean they've been touring. They've been in America for 20 years now. Was that? I mean, you guys have toured extensively in Europe as well. Was it ever on the cards to try and follow Cedar into the American market and maybe move to the US?
Yeah, we wanted to. It's a big thing financially to get as many of us over and to try and do it. And we always pulled in different ways. Like the European thing was, we always had an in, and going to play the UK and then suddenly Germany and stuff. And we always wanted to do America. We just never found the time or the money, to be honest. It was more like, okay, cool, we're going to be touring Europe, so Yeah, it's crazy. We've toured India and Europe a lot, but like we
India.
toured
Wow.
India twice and Europe for a decade, and just we've only worked in studio in America.
Very interesting. So if you ever, say for instance, you guys got to go to America, what band would have liked to tour with?
Three Doors Down was one that we were talking at a time to go touring with them. And after the last tour, like they came out on stage and were wearing Prime Circle T-shirts, every one of the band members, and there were such
Wow.
amazing people, and we were talking about going to tour with them. So it was Three Doors Down. We would have loved to have toured with Cedar as well.
Mm.
I don't think we were heavy enough a lot of the time. The guys had more of a heavier kind of fan base. So yeah, it was just trying to find that right thing. I don't know who we tour with now.
Yeah. Well, you guys did quite unique gigs as well. I mean, just recently, you guys did a gig in Zimbabwe, which is, when I saw that, I was like, what? You guys go to Zimbabwe?
Yeah.
And then you guys went to Namibia. And I think Neil told me about, it's the two brothers that kind of organized the gigs for you guys.
Yeah, amazing guys. Amazing guys. Like I think they will be doing a lot of stuff for South African music and bringing some of their guys over here as well. Great promoters and really like amazing to work with. Yeah, I think and going up there again, like there's a lot of people, there's people wanting to hear music. So it was really cool.
And the fan base there, it must be quite unique sitting in Zimbabwe and seeing so many people that just adores your music.
Yeah, it's crazy. Always crazy to go somewhere like new and see people listening to your music. I think the Zim thing is like just a very cool bunch of people. Like the fans that came to the show, which is very like just amazing. Like just the way their energy was very cool. It's nice to be around.
Yeah, our perception of what's going on in Zimbabwe is always driven through the media, and we think, oh man, there's no houses even left. Everybody's just living in caves. But then it's still a functioning country in some weird form or way, and there's still quite a big entertainment scene as well. So I mean, like
they're making it work how they can. Yeah,
it won't stop.
Yeah.
I wanna move over to the box up thing, because that was fascinating for me. I spoke to Francois about his match, and I mean, it's not just about the fight, but it's also about how it changed your life. I don't know if it's still like that, but I mean, you stopped drinking for quite some time. Francois stopped drinking for quite some time, and he got into the fitness thing. Let's talk about the fitness thing. Are you still into the fitness thing?
Yeah, I'm boxing every day still. I got the bug. I'm worse than a CrossFit person because I tell people to start boxing all the time. I'm like, you must start boxing. It's great for you. But it is amazing. I think that we all get a chip on our shoulders or something. And, when you're a kid, you can be told off about it. But if you start boxing, it's good to be punched in the face every now and then. It's quite humbling.
Has it never happened at a show though? Have you never been in a fight?
Thank God I haven't been punched at a show. I was punched a lot growing up, and then got into this boxing opportunity. Was never something I would ever have seen myself doing ever. And I think it was like a bit of opportunity in the sense of like nothing. I had no gigs or anything, so I had time, and I'd recently gotten sober, and I thought, well, I've got all this extra time on my hands. I might as well do something with it. I was quite happy and content just running around the block, but it was cool. And I box every day now. I know Majosi boxes and Francois still boxes as well. I'm trying to get Jesse to do it. I'm trying to get a whole bunch of people to get into it, start a rock star boxing league.
Yeah, that could be extremely interesting. I love the fact that you said once that when you were asked, did you ever get into sports? And you said like, well, I used to be a high jumper and a drinker for many years.
Yeah.
So
very true.
Yeah. So the boxing thing kind of is sticking. And is there any chance of another match?
There is talk of it. I don't know. I'm on the ropes about it, to be honest. I think it was fun to do it. Kevin Frazier, the comedian, I fought him. He was amazing. He was such a great challenge and he was 10 years younger than me, and I was terrified. So I trained really hard. So I think if I do it again, I don't know. I don't know if I'll do it again. It's fun though. It's fun.
So no chance of you and Francois getting into the ring.
Well, let's see.
Do you think you can take him?
I think we'd both hurt each other a lot. I think it would be we wouldn't, because we'd take it very seriously, I think. Yeah. So it would be a match. It would definitely be we'd both go in with a good, we'd do good for the sport, put it that way.
Yeah,
we wouldn't take this.
Yeah, I think Francois is an amazing fighter in that sense. But I think if you...
I've seen him take a punch.
Yeah, I wanted to say, I think the dangerous guy in Fokker Felicita is Wynand, because apparently him and Francois used to get into it, and Francois said, like, Wynand beat him up almost every time.
Wynand's got this look in his eyes that I wouldn't mess with. He's looks like quite an intense guy. But
it was interesting when I saw you walking with the Ex-Ambassadors song. Why Ex-Ambassadors? It's an amazing song, and it suited the occasion. But why Ex-Ambassadors?
I just love the band. I think he's a great singer, and the title and the whole thing is like I'd created this monster in myself. I'd woken something else up. You know what I mean? I've never been I'm a lover, not a fighter. But it was like sort of like okay. And I wanted Kevin to get scared a bit when he heard the song. You know?
Yeah. Was there a moment during the boxing match that you realized, like, this is me? I'm going to take this?
Yeah, I think round four. Round four, I could see him sort of like battling there, and but at the same time, I was exhausted. So I was like, if he gets me a good one, I just got to not get hit very hard, and I think I've got this. Yeah,
it's quite funny. I wanna talk about your new single. I'm blown away. It is really, really a banger. I think you're doing an amazing job with it. The song Wild, maybe let's talk about the writing process. What was the influence behind it? What's the song about?
So I was challenged. I wanted to go and challenge myself to write with different people, because I'd only written with the band and with my producer at the time. So I wanted to get out and get a different sound, or find a different way to create. I'm always writing music, but I wanted to sort of see what else, other kind of colors would be thrown into the mix with other people. So I went to UK and I went to Nashville, and I started writing a lot of music with all these different people, which was amazing. So I went to London and I met with the co-writer there, John Green, and he's an amazing songwriter. He's worked with Lady Antebellum and Linkin Park. So I was really excited to get in a room with him. So very, very nervous as well. And we met up at a wine bar, and he told me about a night he went on a date with this wonderful woman in America, and they got front seats at a blues bar. Like everything went right, And then he'd just been on a date with her in London, and everything went wrong. It was just a shit date. And I met someone who I had dated previously, and I'd met them and started seeing them again in a way. But like, I realized how like the road has always been a thing. Like it's difficult for musicians, touring people to always be there. You're constantly on the road, and you're committed to being with all these thousands of other people all the time. So we were talking a lot, and we went in the room, and sort of this Love Me in the Wild sort of came up as the main thing, because of just that kind of being on the road and being who you are, showing your real colors, kind of thing. And we wrote the song pretty quickly, which was amazing. And then we literally sat back at the wine place where we were when we started, and like we both were like commending ourselves on like, wow, we're really digging the song. Like, and then it took me 3 years to figure out in which way to put it out, because it was a piano ballad.
Wow.
And I didn't want to bring out a piano ballad because it was sort of, it's kind of very Prime Circle. And I didn't want to bring out something that, the fans would say, well, that just sounds like you're doing Prime Circle. So I wanted to give it its own spin and energy. And it just started getting this new kind of feeling when I worked with Denim again on it. And it just, it's such a great thing. I love the song.
It's an amazing song. So you are bringing out the songs single by single by single. Is that the plan, or are you gonna do the album thing?
So single by single, I think I've released albums in the past and lost some of my favorite kids that way. Like those songs just get swept under the blanket, and it's sort of, and sometimes like better, like songs that you didn't expect that journey to go, like they get more focus, and it's sometimes not the sort of creative line that you wanted to take. So this is now sort of each one gets its turn in the sun and gets the songs. I've been saying it since David Gresham days that I wanted to release singles, but it was always about albums and creating content. I'm dying to release all these 7 at once, because my live content, I want to be playing majority of the new stuff. I don't want to play a lot of Prime songs because of the stuff that I've written for the band. I just, I think I'm always going to have to play 1 or 2 of those songs that are, those kind of songs, but I would like to get to the new material. So live, I'm going to be playing all of the songs. So all of the new stuff. So if people want to hear the stuff before it's released, then that's the only place they can get it. Which is kind of cool.
Yeah. It's fascinating. I've never really thought about something like that, where an artist can actually, and that's how you even draw more people into coming to the shows. I mean, your fans.
Yeah, and I think the shows are going to be very different as well. It's weird. I've been meeting up with new musicians, and I'm looking for a lot of different players, and I'm finding like people with different. I've been playing with like Dale Sneller on drums behind me for so long. He is an amazing drummer. He's just this like, and he just he's an energy. He's a big machine. He plays with hammers pretty much. So playing with like different people with different finesse and going for different things, it's awesome because you're in different parts of the spectrum as well.
Yeah, you've shared the stage with some amazing people. Anybody very significant, maybe international star that kind of, much like your drummer, that impressed you, that you were starstruck by, maybe?
Mark Tremonti, definitely. Like we were on tour with Alter Bridge for a while, and he was just incredible. Like his love for music. Like he was really there he was really real. Like he's the most real guy for it. Like he would rehearse 4 hours before every show.
Wow.
He'd have an amp room, and he would be running scales. Like he was truly obsessed. I've never seen a more obsessed musician in my life, but yet he was sober and he was always focused. He was always a gentleman to everybody. Just amazing. Like that's someone to look up to,
Well, it sounds like you. I mean, if you have to be serious. So.
I wish I could play guitar like that.
Yeah. During the lockdown, a lot of people said, you guys did the streaming thing as well, especially like the Save Our stages, and you guys did your own thing as well. And a lot of people said like they think the streaming thing is going to stick, but I don't think it actually did.
Yeah.
Do you think
there is some streaming services, and I think it's good that we should still try, you know what I mean? Like, like we should try and stream some artists. I think YouTube is, it's cool for the fact that you can get as many shows, but I think when you're having a direct conversation with an artist that you love, like in that moment, there's something to be said about it because you're with them as they are right then. Like YouTube is something, that you can see, and it's great, but it's nice to be live with them, But yeah, I was hoping it would stick. I was hoping it would be bigger. I think, my favorite stream was Post Malone's Nirvana tribute. I think that was amazing. That was really, really cool. And then we did the music in empty spaces. So like we were the last band to play the Dome, which was kind of sad, but
yeah,
that was actually kind of an amazing show to play in an empty arena. It was I felt like we were in that Foo Fighters music video.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. It was a lot of fun to do streams, but it's much better to play the live crowds.
Yeah, for sure. It must have been amazing. You mentioned Post Malone, and it's also something I thought about just before the show. He did another cover from I think it's Paul Jam Better Man. I don't know if you've heard that one that he did. And
I haven't, no.
And I was thinking, mixed reviews. He did the Nirvana thing very well, I thought, and the Pearl Jam one, I was impressed because I understood that is his version of the song, and then when I saw the reviews, a lot of people were like, "No, he butchered it," and then I thought like Eddie Vedder, America. Ross from South Africa, I think you got the voice to pull off that song. Were you ever a Pearl Jam fan?
Big time. I think he was definitely someone like I used to copy him quite a lot, or try to copy him quite a bit when I was younger. I just sounded very strange, like when I was trying to do it. Like when everyone tries to do the 90s voice, it sounds like they're a bit constipated. But Eddie's Eddie, man. He's like, I love his voice.
I will pay to hear you sing a Pearl Jam song, man, anytime.
Sure. So.
One of my funniest stories that I've heard from bands and people was the one about your dad during the lockdown and the edibles. Don't you want to tell that story again?
Yeah, my dad, I gained a lot of weight during lockdown. I was like 103 kgs. I was just drinking and eating, just like, I didn't know if the world was going to end. So it wasn't the most creative time as well. But it was just being at home and having my family, that we all moved in together. And my dad would call me, he's a Scottish guy, and he'd call me a fat bastard every morning to try and motivate me to lose weight. He said, "Morning, you fat bastard," and whatever. And it was hilarious. And then he one morning woke up, and my mother woke me up and thought he was having a stroke. He thought he was having a heart attack. We didn't know what it was. And so I rushed him to the hospital, and they couldn't figure out what it was. The next morning, he checked himself out as this like grumpy Scotsman does, and he was standing in the road waiting for me. And I picked him up, took him home, and we couldn't figure out what it was. And he said to me, "Those biscuits in your fridge have too much chocolate, you fat bastard." And I realized then that he'd been eating my edibles. And I think he'd had about 10 of them. And the TV started speaking to him, and he was freaking out. He didn't know what it was. So it turns out he was high as a kite.
Oh my goodness! Did you explain to him what happened, or did you just keep it quiet?
Yeah, yes, I did, and he wasn't too chuffed at the end. But at least it forced him to get all of his tests done, and he's a stubborn guy. And he seems to be in good health. So
that's hilarious.
He's doing it again.
Yeah. You're very blessed to still have him in your life. I mean, on Youth Day like today, we call the new generation a fatherless generation. So when I hear stories like this, it's quite special to have that bond still with your father. So you're very lucky.
Definitely, yeah. Very lucky, yeah.
So you are a Scottish African. Can we say that?
Yeah.
So what makes somebody an African, though? I mean, that's been a political question in this country for a long time.
I think it's the love of the country, like thick and thin. Will you defend this country thick and thin to whatever, And I think it's it's a good question. What makes you an African, But I definitely think it's just a sheer love of the place as well, makes you a sort of human being in that, where this is sort of the heart of the world in a way. So, but what makes it that? Yeah.
Was there ever a thought that you might want to move to Scotland?
When I was younger, I thought about it just because I'd grown up with all these stories, of like just how my dad growing up there, and I always wanted to go see it for myself, but just it's been nice to go back and visit. I love it. I think Scotland's amazing, but it's just like, this was my home, like I grew up here, and it's home. So like for me, like we always wanted to be, when we were touring, we always wanted to be the band. Like NXS was always an Australian band, and they would tour the world based from there. So we wanted to do the same thing. We wanted to be a band based in South Africa touring the world. But every time we went overseas, like the rand would like do better, and then we'd lose thousands. And then we'd come back, and then the rand would dive again. So it was like always trying to chase the rand, dollar thing. But
it's amazing.
We always wanted.
Yeah, it's amazing. You also told a story once when I think it was in Denmark, where you guys were touring in Denmark, and you actually slept on the floor at the station or something, and you guys were chased away or something.
Well, the guy, no, you're not allowed to lie down. You can sleep sitting up, but you're not allowed to lie down sleeping. And there's a person with like really like hard pointy boots that will walk around and kick you in your ribs if you gently, and not as gently at 2 a.m, and make you sit up and sleep. So it was in Norway that we were there. We
Norway.
played a gig with Beth Hart. It was amazing. What an amazing talent.
Yeah.
And then we missed the last bus because we were just chatting to people and having a good time. And then we had to sleep at the bus station sitting up until the very next morning. It was freezing.
It's amazing how times have changed for you guys. I mean, you guys have reached a level of success that very few bands will ever see in their lifetime. So congratulations on that. You mentioned you're going to tour your solo project in Europe coming soon.
Yeah, I leave in about 5 weeks. I'm going to Ireland, Scotland, London, and Germany. Going to be just showcasing the new stuff and having, just going to see the people again. I haven't been to Europe in obviously a few years now. And I had to jump at the chance to get back. I've missed it and I can't wait for it,
Sounds amazing. Then the last thing, your next single, do you have a date when you're going to drop the next single?
I do. It is on, I think it's the 15th of July.
Of July. Okay.
Yeah. That's the date. And 15th July, people must look out for the next single.
I'm very excited to hear it. Ross, I want to thank you for your time. I know you're a busy guy. I really, really appreciate it. It was amazing to chat to you.
Thank you, man. It's been amazing. Sorry for my appearance. My house is as cold as a morgue. So
I'm wearing sweater pants. So
there you go.
Yeah. I understand. You must have an amazing evening.
Yes, yourself. Cheers, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Ross.
You just gotta keep living, man. LIVIN.